When I was little, there was a witchy childhood friend who always bullied me. To avoid her, I secretly transferred schools. Never expected that a year later, a stunningly beautiful transfer student joined our class. Scared me so much, I just wanted to bolt. What beautiful transfer student? Isn't this just my childhood friend, the little witch? But gradually I noticed, the sundear childhood friend who always chased me around biting, had somehow turned into a sweet, gentle wife. At that moment in the classroom, homeroom teacher Sienna Sue walked in from outside. "Good morning, class. Today, we have a new student joining us. Let's give them a warm welcome. Miss Zhang, you may come in now." After speaking, she started clapping first. Soon, the entire classroom was filled with applause. When I heard the new student's surname was Zhang, my heart suddenly skipped a beat. I felt inexplicably uneasy. Coincidences should just be coincidences. I comforted myself in my heart. The next second, I saw a girl with delicate features walk into the classroom. She was about 1.65 meters tall, with smooth, long hair, wearing a beige top paired with an elegant pleated skirt. Her legs were straight and slender, and a pair of white flats somehow radiated the aura of a youthful girl. When I saw that familiar face, my breath hitched abruptly. My mouth hung open wide, and I stared at the girl in shock. My buddy Guohao immediately started waving his arms excitedly. "Yellara, this is the super pretty girl I told you about." Guohao didn't hear a response, so he turned his head in confusion. He saw me staring blankly, motionlessly fixated on that girl. All that talk about only caring about studying, and now one look at a pretty girl exposes you. Guohao muttered under his breath. My heart was pounding wildly at this moment. I swallowed hard with difficulty, stood up and said, "Miss Su, my stomach hurts. I need to use the restroom." Sienna Su's eyebrows furrowed sharply. "Student Yellara, I just arrived, and you already need to go to the bathroom? Do you have some kind of issue with me?" "Not at all." I immediately sat back down. I didn't dare provoke this she-devil even though we'd only interacted for a year. But I'd heard plenty from classmates. The notorious reputation of the 11th grade female demon. Sienna Su nodded in satisfaction. Then she said, "This classmate. Please introduce yourself." The girl nodded. Standing at the podium, she faced the entire class. Her voice was clear and pure, ethereal and melodious. "Hello everyone, my name is Mira Zhang. I'm from Cloud City." Then she swept her gaze toward my seat. She shot me a dangerous look. Seeing that look, my heart pounded wildly, but I pretended not to care on the surface. Seems like my sudden transfer a year ago earned me this little devil's grudge. "All right, Mira Zhang, you can take that seat over there." Sienna Su pointed to an empty spot in the middle, but Mira Zhang didn't move. She turned to Sienna Su with a faint smile. "Miss Su, can I choose my own seat?" Seeing that smile, Sienna Su's heart skipped a beat. She froze for a moment. The student was really too beautiful. Even a woman in her 30s felt a flutter. After a pause, noticing Sienna Su hadn't responded, Mira Zhang pressed, "Is that okay? Miss Su?" Of course. Go ahead and pick." With the approval secured, Mira Zhang took a step, walking straight toward my seat. Watching this unfold, my heart thumped anxiously. Then he picked up the Chinza textbook and pretended to read it, but his gaze still faintly swept over the girl's figure. This is my strategy. Since I can't avoid it, then the only option is to play dead. But Hal Gore had no idea what I was thinking. He kept tugging at my arm. Yellara, classmate Zhang is coming over here. How can you still be reading? She's really so pretty. Who do you think she'll choose as her deskmate?" Hal Gore stared at the approaching Mira Zhang, his mouth hanging open. Seeing the love-struck look on his face, I rolled my eyes inwardly. Soon, Mira Zhang stopped beside Hal Gore. flashing that charming smile again. Classmate, can we switch seats? Though the words were a request, the tone brooked no refusal. Of course. Hal Gore quickly lowered his head, stammering as he spoke. Mira Zhang replied indifferently, thanks. Then, turning to Sienna Su, she said, Miss Su, I'll sit here. Fine, as long as you've agreed. Everyone, stay quiet. This period is self-study. Sienna Su nodded, then turned and left the classroom. That guy is seriously the worst. Just because he's a little handsome and gets good grades, why do all the pretty girls flock to him? I'm not bad either, okay? Before leaving, Hal Gore shot me a resentful look as I pretended to read, grumbling inwardly. I could only pretend not to notice, since he was already in hot water himself. Mira Zhang, however, just stood to the side without sitting down, her beautiful eyes fixed on me the whole time. This guy suddenly vanished without a word a year ago. Just transferred and ran off. Am I a ghost? Is he that scared of me? The thought made her furious. What? Not happy to see me? Classmate Yellera? Mira Jiang's tone was dangerous. The last four words nearly hissed through clenched teeth. Hearing this, the class erupted in murmurs. So these two know each other? I knew I couldn't play dead anymore. Quickly putting the book down, with a flattering smile on his face. How would I dare? My Lady Zhang, please, have a seat. He brushed off non-existent dust from the chair beside him. Mira Zhang still didn't sit down, but her gaze grew even more dangerous. Seeing this, I shrunk my neck slightly, shuffled my butt, and sat on the chair beside me instead, gesturing for her to take my original seat. Hey Emph, at least you have some sense. Seeing me humbled, the girl felt quite pleased inside, but she still wore a haughty expression. This was your idea, remember? I didn't force you. I'm doing this willingly, my lady. Just humor me and sit here already. The girl frowned, sensing something was off. I too immediately realized my slip-up. But, as a man, how could I grovel to a girl like this? Unbearable. Enough already. Sit down now. Don't disturb everyone studying. With that, I grabbed Mira Jiang's small hand and yanked her into the seat. As she sat, Mira Jiang felt the warmth in her palm. She was stunned. He actually held my hand. By the time she was seated, the girl's cheeks were flushed red. But this guy still hadn't let go. Instead, he gave it a firm squeeze. You're hurting me. Hearing that, I immediately released her hand. But the scene that just unfolded is still vivid in my mind. I actually held the little witch's hand. Still oblivious to the danger, I gave it a pinch. She actually didn't react. Could she be running a fever? Maybe her brain's fried. But you gotta admit, her little hand was really soft. Thinking these thoughts, I recklessly raised my hand and placed it on Mira Jiang's forehead. You don't have a fever. Why are you so gentle today? After saying this, I grinned foolishly at the girl's expression. My laughter made her cheeks flush even redder, looking utterly adorable. It made me want to pinch them. Mira Jiang shot me a fierce glare, removed the offending hand from her forehead, then stomped hard on my white shoes, left a mark that belongs to her. That's not even the worst of it. I immediately felt a sharp pain in my waist. She let go, and the pain nearly brought tears to my eyes. The girl just let out a soft hum. She turned her head away and released the tender flesh at my waist. I grimaced in pain, seeing that Mira Jiang was still the same little devil as before. Her pinches were just as vicious as ever. And here, thought she had become gentler. I won't let this grudge go unavenged. Next time I get the chance, I'll pinch her back hard. I secretly vowed in my heart. Meanwhile, Mira Jiang had no idea what I was thinking. She felt the lingering warmth on her palm and forehead. As if lost in a dream, her whole body felt light and floaty. He even held my hand, still touching my forehead. This is really too much. I must tell Auntie about this. Though it seemed like she was complaining in her heart, the girl's blushing cheeks and her tender, affectionate gaze said it all. The flirtatious banter between the two made Hao Wang, sitting in the front row, cringe so hard his teeth ached. He turned around and gave me a look of utter exasperation. "Sit down, Yellera. Flirting with other girls like this. What if hairpin girl finds out?" The moment Hao Wang said this, Mira Zhang reacted as if triggered by a keyword. She jerked her head toward me, eyes reddening, staring daggers at me. "What, hairpin girl? You're dating someone? I swear I'll tell Auntie if you don't fess up." Damn this guy. I was wondering why you suddenly transferred schools back then. So you've got a crush at this school. But she thought it over carefully. In the memories of the past, there's no information about this guy having girls around him. Great. Just 1 year, and you already found a girlfriend behind my back. I must tell Auntie. But why do I feel like crying? Maybe the wind is too strong and got in my eyes. A confident girl would never admit she cares about him. I couldn't be bothered with her at first. But then I remembered how she used to tattle to Mom over every little thing, and a mischievous urge to mess with her rose in my heart. Poking the tiger's whiskers, just the thought of it is thrilling. So what? Can't I date someone? I put on a smug face and said to Mira Zhang. I knew this little troublemaker would take it seriously, riling her up a bit. Just thinking about it makes me happy. But her reaction seems off. Why are her eyes getting redder? It looks like tears are welling up. Is this still the same little witch from back then? Watching this scene, I was instantly confused. Meanwhile, Hao Wang in the front row didn't notice this small detail. He pointed at my pencil case and said, "The hairclip girl even gave them a hairclip. It's inside this pencil case. I only found out today. Didn't expect this guy to hide it so well." Hearing this, Mira Zhang glanced at that familiar pencil case. I was afraid the girl might actually cry. So I grabbed the pencil case and handed it over. "Here, we grew up together. Don't I know what you're thinking? There's no hairclip girl. I was just messing with you. Didn't think you'd take it seriously." I passed the pencil case with one hand and scratched my head with the other. "Hey Emph, you're the one who told me to check. I didn't force you." Seeing this, Hao Wang, even if slow, realized something was off. He quickly turned back around and sat upright at his desk, pretending to study. I looked at the girl's reddened eyes. Even now, I could hardly believe it. Just 1 year apart. And this little witch seems like a whole different person. Back then, if I pissed her off, she wouldn't hesitate to throw hands first. Now, she's actually tearing up. But damn, she looks so cute like this. How come I never noticed before? Mira Zhang took the pencil case with a tsundere attitude, skillfully unzipping it. Seeing what's inside, she couldn't help but give me a puzzled look. Wasn't this hairpin the one I gave him for his 14th birthday? Never thought he'd still have it. See it now, hairpin sis? A smirk hung on my face. When I said, hairpin sis, I practically spat out each word. Mira Zhang suddenly understood. She had actually been tricked by this guy. It had always been her teasing him, never the other way around. This left her both embarrassed and furious. Fine, you actually dared to bully me. Just wait till we're back in Yuncheng for break. See if I don't tell a aunt. Mira Zhang pouted and turned away. But their peripheral vision kept scanning over me. Please, Miss Zhang, did you transfer schools just to tattle on me? This little girl is cute, sure. But she just had to have a mouth. So annoying ever since kindergarten. Any little thing, she'd run and tell my parents. Naturally, couldn't care less. But my mom's feather duster wasn't just for show. Which is why, The moment I see Mira Zhang, it's like a mouse spotting a cat. If I can't outplay her, can't I at least avoid her? So a year ago, I secretly submitted a transfer application to the school. Mira Zhang suddenly flashed a sly smile, puckered her lips and said, "As long as you behave and listen to me, I promise I won't tell your mom." Seeing that smile, my heart sank. I knew I'd fallen into another trap dug by this little witch. "Fine, whatever you say. You're so grown up now. Stop acting like a kid, running to tattle every time. From now on, wherever you go, you have to report to me. No sneaking off like last year. Do I have to tell you when I go to the bathroom too? I don't care about that. But anywhere else, you have to tell me." Thinking of my mom's iron grip, I had no choice but to agree to this unreasonable demand. Seeing my helpless, defeated expression, Mira Zhang laughed triumphantly. Early September, the weather was still scorching hot. The electric fan hanging from the classroom ceiling creaked noisily. A faint, delicate fragrance wafted along with the gentle breeze. It reached the tip of my nose. I picked up the Chinese textbook somewhat awkwardly and kept reading. But thinking back, Tohat just happened. Endure for a moment, but the more you think about it, the angrier you get. Take a step back, and the more you think about it, the more you feel cheated. I caught it out off the corner of my eye. He brushed aside Ru Mingshan resting on the side. Thinking about the wonderful sensation of holding her hand just now. I must get some payback from her. Just do it. I reached out and firmly grasped the young girl's small hand. "What are you doing?" Mira Zhang was caught off guard by this sudden attack. Her delicate body suddenly shuddered. Found out it was this guy who got me by the balls. The girl's sense of reserve made her want to escape from this devil's grasp. But the warm sensation coming from that large hand, it made her skip a beat. She was a bit reluctant to leave. Mira Zhang tried to break free for a moment, but found there was no way to break free. It's just holding hands anyway. We've all had accidents when we were kids. It's nothing special. That's right, just like that. I didn't respond. My other hand still held the book. But upon closer inspection, you'll notice my body is trembling slightly. It proves that my emotions are far from calm at this moment. I just feel it cold to the touch. A gentle squeeze feels like pressing on cotton. That makes me so uncomfortable. What I find a bit strange is, this little witch actually didn't break free. Not to say there was no struggle. At the beginning, there was a bit of a struggle. But it was gone very soon. This gives me a secret thrill. The bell rang to signal the end of class. Mira Zhang was like Sheget, an electric shock. She quickly shook off my hand that was holding hers. She rested her head on the desk. A pretty face was instantly tinged with the rosy hues of the setting sun. I stood up and got ready to leave my seat. But the commotion was shared by Mira Zhang. He grabbed hold of hem of his clothes, looking at the blush in the girl's face. How come I never noticed before? This little witch blushes so easily. This little witch looks so adorable like this. A familiar, faintly sweet fragrance wafted in with the breeze, always lingering at the tip of my nose. I have to say, she smells really good. It's been a year since I last saw her, and she's not only become gentler, and it looks even better now. If only she were my girlfriend. Should I confess me feelings to her? Thinking of this, I shook my head again. This must be the little witch's trap. How could she possibly be like this? It must be a trap. Now, if I confess to her, she'll definitely tell my mom in no time. Oh, Yellara, don't fall into her trap. I quietly made up my mind. Mira Zhang naturally had no idea. In just a split second, so many little thoughts popped into my head. At this moment, she was just clutching the hem of my clothes tightly. She didn't even know Wish was holding onto him. Just a little scared. Afraid he would abandon her and run away just like he did a year ago. I snapped myself out of my wild thoughts. I tried to tug at the corner of my clothes the little witch had grabbed with her claws. but it didn't budge an inch. In the end, I could only helplessly say, "I'm going to the bathroom. Be back soon." Mira Zhang blinked her big innocent eyes. "Then you have to come back. If you dare to leave me behind and run off again, I'll tell Auntie that you bullied me." Hamph. Hearing this, I was both angry and amused. But there's no other way. Who told them to have my mom, this big Buddha, as their backer? As you wish, my young lady. I'll be right back. You let go first. I'm about to piss myself. I was speechless and tugged at the corner of my clothes again. Mira Zhang lowered her head again upon hearing this. But her little hand was clutching at Yellera's sleeve. Finally let go. I finally breathed a sigh of relief when I saw that. He bolted out of Thecla's room in a mad dash. After using the toilet, I leaned against the railing outside the bathroom, looking up at the sky with a face full of utter despair. And the people on either side of me are Hal Gore and Hal Wang. Hal Gore couldn't help but be the first to strike. Looking at me with disdain, Yellera said, "Your Mira isn't this pretty. You're still pretending to be serious. You only care about studying. I told you this guy was like that. Why do you act sound interested in other girls? So you've been hiding a beauty in private." I quickly looked around in a panic. After not seeing that familiar figure, just breathed a sigh of relief. Then he continued, "I grew up with her since we were kids. I know exactly what kind of person she is. Don't be fooled by her good looks. Actually, it's just the mischievous little witch who loves to play pranks." I was complaining to myself, completely unaware that someone was hiding at the corner of the staircase. Mira Zhang, after I left, she still wasn't quite at ease, sneaked out and followed me without anyone noticing. Before she could step forward to do anything, just seeing me humiliate myself like this in front of outsiders, this guy really makes Ithard to stay patient with him. What a shame he don't appreciate it himself. Mira Zhang gazed at my figure, speaking lightly. On the other side, I was completely of the impending danger, still going on and in by themselves. That's just how it is. I only secretly transferred to your school last year. Oh, so that's how it is. Childhood sweethearts. I'm so damn jealous. Hal Wang and Hal Gore. Kiku spoke in a sarcastic tone, getting more and more worked up as he went on. I didn't notice the tone of these two idiots at all. I can't believe it's only been a year since we last saw each other. She's changed stomach. It's unbelievable. The most important thing is becoming gentler. If only she could stay like this forever. I actually quite like her. At this point, a bright smile spread across my face, and Mira Zhang eavesdropped there in the corner. When I heard this, a faintly sweet feeling inexplicably arose in her heart. Hey who cares if he likes me? But he actually said nice things about me. I won't be harsh on him anymore. After all, a gentle girl will never be mean to anyone. Mira Jiang's eyes curved into crescents, muttering a few words with a happy face. Then, humming a tune, she skipped back to the classroom. I naturally had no idea about any of this. I'm still fantasizing right now. Mira Zhang becoming gentle looks like my girlfriend. Hee, little witch. Let's see how you can run now. Hal Wang and Hal Gore, the two of them, looked at my dumbstruck expression. Can't help but feel a bit shocked. Is she still the top student Yellera they've known for a year? The two of them exchanged a glance. They all rolled their eyes speechlessly. Then, following the corridor, he returned to the classroom. The class bell rang at this moment. You interrupted my daydream. I put away my smile, wiped the drool from the corner of his mouth. After realizing I was the only one left, I couldn't help but curse those woo bastards under my breath. After returning to the classroom, I spotted it at first glance. Mira Zhang sat in her old seat. I just sat back down in my seat. Mira Zhang gave him a bright smile. Using the gentlest tone possible, Yellera said, "You're back." Hearing this, I felt like I had seen a ghost. My butt barely warmed the seat. Launch immediately. Stand up and speak properly. You're scaring me like this. Seeing my reaction, Mira Zhang couldn't help but secretly clench her fists. Don't get mad. The gentle girl never gets angry. Mira Zhang turned her head away sharply, adjusted his breathing. Then he looked at me again. How could you look at me like that? This makes me so sad. I stood by, dumbfounded. Aussie watched this scene unfold. Using such a cutesy voicetto, say such cheesy words. Is this still the little witch he remembered? Then I reached out and placed my hand on Mira Jiang's forehead once more. Are you really out of your mind? Right now. The gentle girl could no longer hold back her embarrassed anger. Yellara, I noticed she seems genuinely pissed off. Quickly withdrew his hand. What's wrong with flattering smiles? My Miss Zhang, sit down. As I spoke, I plopped down onto the seat. But the next second, a sharp pain shot through my waist again. At the same time, a sensation of being pressed down came from my foot. A gentle girl can also get angry. The consequences of anger can be very serious. Mira Zhang looked at me with a facet that seemed like she wanted to scream, but didn't dare to make a sound. Couldn't help but burst out laughing. He quickly let go of the hand that was pinching the soft flesh at my waist. But your foot is still on my white shoe. I immediately rubbed my red and lower back where it had been pinched. This little witch hits really hard. After kneading for a while, I leaned my body sideways and leaned close to Mira Zhang. I could feel this movement right by my ear. Mira Jiang's body visibly trembled for a moment. But she didn't refuse. Miss Zhang, you've finished venting your anger. I don't know if it's possible. I'm saying. He grabbed Mira Jiang's delicate, soft little hand in one swift motion. The familiar warmth once again spread through the palm of my hand. Mira Jiang's ears turned red in an instant. She also really liked this feeling. But the girl's modesty still made her pretend to struggle. No way, Mira Zhang said softly. Struggled for a while. Couldn't break free. Mira Zhang, just let me be. In math class, the teacher was lecturing on the podium. I was taking notes with one hand. The other hand was secretly fidgeting under the desk. I was playing with Mira Jiang's little hand. Later, give the back off your hand a little pinch. Later, he tickled her palm. Mira Zhang glared at me fiercely. Thinking of holding hands, just go for it. What are you fidgeting for? The sensation coming from palm felt a bit strange. It made Mira Jiang feel a bit feverish. But this kind of electrifying feeling, she quite likes it. But I pretended not to see it. Still doing their own little things without a care. Seeing the little witch eating a cookie. My heart feels nothing but pure delight. Campus life had always been as dishwater until today. But today, Jiang Ruming arrived. My heart suddenly came alive. As the school bell rang. The last class off day is over. I picked up my bag and walked out into the hallway, gazing at the clouds dyed red by the setting sun. This moment, the first thing that came to my mind was the little witch's blushing cheeks. Thinking of this, I quickly snapped myself out of my wild thoughts. What's so great about that little witch anyway? She's just quite good looking. The hands are weak and limp. You smell nice. What else is there besides these? Yellara, you've really lost your mind. You're the one who vowed to study hard. Be careful not to fall into the little witch's trap. Yellara, let's go. Go home. What are you doing here? Halgor also walked out of the classroom carrying a bag. He waved at me. Halgori a pat on the shoulder. Yellara is waiting for her childhood, sweetheart, let's just go. After saying that, Hegrabed Halgor and left. Halgor imi diatelli dundisto as well. Let's just go. She's got her childhood sweetheart now. You don't even look at me anymore, bro. I was both angry and amused after hearing it. These two idiots really fell in with the wrong crowd. Fuck off. Get the hell out of here. At this moment, Mira Zhang also packed up her things and came out. She saw me standing outside waiting for her. My heart instantly felt sweet and joyful. Mira Zhang asked knowingly in a coquettish tone. Are you waiting for me? I rolled my eyes either when I saw that. Are you leaving or not? If you're not leaving, then I'm going. After saying that, he turned it around and left without another word. Mira Zhang heard this. Her lips instantly pouted. Then he quickly caught up. You bastard. I'm a girl, you know. Let me pass, will you? It won't kill you. But I stopped in my tracks and gave her a once-over. Rosy lips, with curve still present on the body. Just a bit green. The most important thing is how devastatingly attractive the legs are to me. That's enormous. Mira Zhang immediately crossed her arms, standing by on the side. Look straight into my eyes. It's like they're guarding Gagan, some major pervert. I definitely wouldn't dare to make contact with the little witch. I awkwardly looked away. Then he pretended not to care and said, your hands are just too weak. You smell nice. Looks pretty good. You don't act like a girl at all. Mira Zhang couldn't believe what she was hearing. Is he complimenting me? Didn't expect this guy to be quite good at giving compliments. I originally thought, what nasty words is this scoundrel about to spew out? Her hand was almost on his waist. As soon as this guy starts talking trash, teach him a lesson right away. But who would have thought this guy wouldn't play by the rules? Mira Jiang's eyes curved into crescents, eyes smiling with charm. She reached out and pulled me arm into her embrace. Thank you for the compliment. I'm very happy. I felt my arm enter a warm place. I felt a bit awkward and turned my head away. The curve there still carried a hint of youthful awkwardness, but it still made me feel quite pleased. Classmate Yellara, you're blushing. Mira Zhang acted as if she had just discovered a new continent, holding onto my arm, chattering non-stop. No, you didn't see it wrong. As a real man, how could I possibly blush? But my face turned red, arguing based on reason. It feels like the girlie said something. Blushing is as if it's something shameful. Mira Zhang understood perfectly well. The childish competitiveness of teenage boys. I was mistaken. Alright then, as soon as those words came out, I pretended to be sunder and turned my head away, pretending to still be angry. From this moment on, Gong Shuyi woke up. Innocent youth. Just take it step by step. Fell into the little witch's trap, around 5 feet 9 inches tall, accompanied by Mira Zhang, who is about 1.65 meters tall. Isn't this what they call the legendary, cutest height difference? The two of them walked along the road. Passers-by on the street saw. Can't help but sigh, what a perfect couple they are. When it's just that woe of us, her and me. She's the little witch who fears nothing in heaven or on earth. But when there are outsiders present, she's just an 18-year-old girl, that's all. After overhearing the conversation of passers-by, Mira Zhang was a bit shy. He buried his head in my shoulder. I felt a weight on my shoulders, turned my head to look. The girl's eyes were tightly shut. The curved eyelash fluttered slightly. So damn cute. Seeing this situation, I secretly swallowed my saliva. I quickly shook my head, breaking the ambiguous atmosphere. By the way, we've been walking for a while now. You still haven't said where you live. Where you live is where I'll live. Mira Zhang speaks very softly. I heard that. I was completely stunned. I live where she lives. This is really mind-boggling. Mira Zhang took one look at my expression. I knew I said the wrong thing. But how could a gentle girl ever admit her mistakes? He's clearly in the wrong. Idiot. What I mean is, we live in the same neighborhood. Haven't you noticed anything these past few days? The new neighbor who just moved in next door. Looks like there's a new neighbor. Then I pretended to suddenly understand, and said, oh, so it was you. That's for sure. I live where you live. Mira Zhang knew it all along. This idiot got the wrong idea again. Tired of living already? Even I dare to flirt with. At this thought, the hand with which Mira Zhang was holding my arm reached the tender spot at my waist. Give it a hard twist. It hurts, let go. Quickly. Still dare to do it again? I won't dare to do it again. Spare my life, heroine. The gentle girl let out a soft hum, holding my arm even tighter. Once again, he lowered his head. It was so close tobbing in my arms. Looking at Mira Zhang, who was about to collapse into her arms, my heart skipped a beat. As if possessed, he pulled the girl into his embrace. Mira Zhang didn't react in time, just felt it. Held in a warm and comforting embrace, Mira Zhang raised her head in my arms. I lowered my head at the same time. The two of them stood on the road, embracing and gazing into each other's eyes. The ambiguous atmosphereance again filled the air. Looking at those rosy lips, I swallowed hard, slowly bent down. Mira Zhang also slowly closed her eyes upon seeing this. Just as she was about to sink into despair, a car horn sounded in the distance. Mira Zhang snapped back to reality right away. No way, Sui Ji started struggling in my arms. I was so startled it gave me a cold sweat. He quickly let go of the girl he was holding. Although she's soft and sweet smelling. But if they really kissed, from now on, by this little witch's side. What else is there to say? Yellara, you're being so foolish. The ambiguous atmosphere quickly dissipated. The two of them fell into silence, one after another, walking one in front of the other on the road. After returning to the neighborhood, I pressed the elevator button first. I walked into the elevator, looking at Mira Zhang, who was still behind. I saw her still shuffling along slowly there. Miss Zhang, the elevator has arrived. Why are you still dawdling around? Hurry up and come up here, I said somewhat helplessly. What's the rush? What a complete lack of class. Let's see who dares to marry you in the future. Although that's what they say. But Mira Zhang still quickened her pace. I can't be bothered to deal with her way of doing things. Just wanted to close the elevator door. But the girl was one step ahead. Blocked my next move. Mira Zhang entered the elevator. She gave me a smug pout and stuck her tongue out at me. Then he turned his head away, showing he didn't want to deal with him. As expected, girls are such a hassle. I just lost my mind. And you still think she's become gentler. Still thinking Gabbett kissing her. In the slow ascent off the elevator, the two stood in separate corners of the elevator, playing with the phone. Just now we were still hugging each other. The two of them were oozing with ambiguous tension. Now, it's like we're sworn enemies, ignoring each other. Looking at the girl's slightly flushed cheek, smelling the faint fragrance, I gradually started to feel a bit distracted and restless. If only she couldn't speak. I sighed quietly to myself. For Mira Zhang, you transferred to my school. You're not here just to see me, are you? I was the first to break the silence, asked in a cheeky tone. Mira Zhang rolled her eyes at me upon hearing this. Classmate Yellara, how can you have a thick skin? Then who was it that tugged in my clothes during break time? And you still hug and hold me. Shut up before Yvonne finished speaking. Mira Zhang was the first to lose her temper. Her cheeks are flushed red right now. He raised his hand and covered me mouth in one swift motion. This damn guy really no-show to hit a sore spot. That's so embarrassing. I must have lost my mind. Do you have to get so worked up over seeing this guy? If there was a crack in the elevator, the gentle girl will definitely think of it all. Don't want to? Just dive right in. I still wanted to say something, but the mouth was already covered. I just want to say it but can't get it out. Next, the corner of my eye caught sight of the girl's rosy lips. Her hand is really so soft. I wonder if her lips are just as soft. I wonder what it feels like to kiss. This thought actually popped into my head. I was also a bit surprised by my own thoughts. I couldn't help but dismiss this absurd thought. Instantly, he looked at Marajiang with a hint of smugness. This is actually my first time playing Saint Little Witch. Moreover, this was all her own doing. Looking at my smug expression, the girl's unyielding spirit flared up instantly. Yes, classmate Yellera. I came here specifically for you. What are you planning to do? The girl immediately suppressed the shyness in her heart. The horn has sounded for returning to work. As soon as Ruo Meng spoke those words, I suddenly doubted whether he had heard correctly. This little witch can only say things like this. So what are you planning to do? Mira Zhang saw my awkward expression. They picked up the pace of the attack. My mood instantly improved by more than half, just as the girl was closing on him step by step. Ding! The elevator finally arrived. The moment the elevator doors opened, it's like I saw my savior. He rushed out in a panic without thinking, running to the door at lightning speed. Take out the keys and open the door. Shoes still on, he rushed straight into the room. Then he slammed the door shut with a bang. The young woman walked out of the elevator with confidence. The figure in the hallway had already disappeared. She couldn't help but pout. Just leave it at that. Thought you were so tough. Mira Zhang pretended on the surface not to care. But my pounding little heart says otherwise. She is also extra malicious right now. Jiang Ruming quickly steadied his trembling body. Step by step, slowly walked to my side. Stopped in front of a door. On the other side, I leaned against the door. After hearing the sound of the door closing outside, instantly felt relieved. He had never seen the little witch like this before. Just now, facing the girl's fierce attack, I almost couldn't hold myself back. Luckily, the elevator saved my life. If I really said that kind of thing to her, she's definitely gonna laugh at me. Just like when we were kids. From now on, I'll have Toic on eggshells around her. What face is there left to show? On the other side, Mira Jiang buried her head in the sofa, and also felt a bit shy about what she had just said. Damn it, I'm such a soft-hearted girl. How could you say something so embarrassing? It must have been influenced by this bad guy. The girl thought of this. He sat up in one swift motion. He picked up a small doll next to him and started whipping it fiercely. It's all your fault, you bad guy. It's all your fault, Hamph. But she seemed to have forgotten. I've been overshadowed by her since the day I was born. And you keep opposing at every turn. This situation continued until I transferred schools. Something just happened. On the very night I secretly transferred to another school, Mira Zhang even ran to my house with a happy face. Get ready to mess with me. But my mom told me I had already left Cloud City. She was experiencing the feeling of disappointment for the very first time. Accidentally using your favorite toy. That feeling is a bit heartbreaking. From that time on, Mira Zhang just realized that she might have fallen for that bad guy. She secretly decided that the next time she saw me, she would try to be gentler and properly confess her feelings. After transferring schools this time, and seeing my familiar face again, her heart was filled with joy. It was like her favorite toy had been returned to her. She wanted to say those words to me, but they seemed to get stuck in her throat. Not a single word came out. Thinking of this, the bashful girl buried her face in the sofa again. How could a girl be the one to say it first? What a blockhead. I even let you hold my hand and hug me. You still don't get what I mean. I'm lying on the sofa playing with my phone. Could this little witch really be here just for me? In my mind flashed scenes from today spent with Mira Zhang, her soft little hands and that sweet fragrance of hers. At this thought, maybe I should confess my feelings to her. This idea surfaced in my mind again. I couldn't help but grin like an idiot. But then another memory flashed through my mind, replaced by images of how she used to bully me as kids. A faint ache throbbed at my waist. I jolted awake, wiping my forehead. Cold sweat broke out. Gurgle. My empty stomach let out a growl. I'm hungry. Yellara got up and headed to the kitchen. Opened the fridge, only to find it completely empty. Only a piece of open Edam sausage left. Ham sausage or stir-fry ingredients. Damn it, forgot to buy groceries today. It's all Mira Jiang's fault. I clutched my stomach with one hand, feeling a bit miserable staring at the empty fridge. Guess I'll have to order takeout tonight. I closed the fridge, grabbed my phone to order food. Just then, a delicious aroma drifted from the balcony into the living room. I quickly followed the scent. As soon as I stepped onto the balcony, I saw on the neighboring balcony a girl wearing an apron, sitting at a small table, eating her meal. Even eating feels like she's teasing me. That damn little witch. Taking a closer look. Braised prawns, red braised pork ribs, and a plate of greens. It turns out they're all my favorite dishes. I couldn't help but swallow hard. I never expected this guy to be such a good cook. Mira Jiang was having a meal. Somehow feel like Simeon's watching me. Turning my head to look, I saw on the neighboring balcony a boy staring at me with burning intensity. Over here, oh my, isn't that classmate Yellara? Have you eaten yet? Naturally, I didn't want to back down in front of the little witch. I stubbornly replied, of course, I've eaten. By the way, classmate Mira Jiang, eating so late. Be careful, you don't turn into a big fatty. After saying this, I struggled to tear my gaze away. But just then, another loud growl came from my stomach, instantly making this 175-meter tall boy blush furiously. Mira Jiang immediately rolled her eyes in disdain. Your lies are as pathetic as ever. As she spoke, she picked up a spare rib and popped it into her mouth, chewing away, while making sounds that make me extremely uncomfortable. I stared at the food, drooling with desire. I'm so hungry right now. If I could eat it, I'd do anything. Mira Jiang seemed to know exactly what I was thinking. She picked up another large shrimp and put it in her own bowl. Classmate Yellara, want some? I desperately swallowed my saliva and nodded frantically. You can have some. But I have one condition, Mira Jiang said, a perverted-looking smile appearing on her face. Seeing that expression, my heart skipped a beat. Here it comes, the little devil's ultimate move. No idea what trick she's up to. But honestly, seeing such a pretty girl make that face, the contrast is unreal. Mira Jiang giggled. A shameful image flashed through her mind. Her face turned red. She quickly snapped out of it and wiped the corner of her mouth. Cleared her throat lightly. Just one condition. If you want to eat, call me big sister. Hearing that, I froze for a second. Seriously? Not just once. I'd call you big sister 10 or 100 times. Big sister Mira Jiang, seeing my dumbfounded look, was about to say something, but never expected this troublemaker would agree so easily. Guess the condition was too simple after all. The gentle beauty suddenly felt like she was at a loss. I saw her standing completely still, thinking she wanted to back out. Instantly, a few more sisters slipped out of my mouth. Hearing those words again, big sister rolled off my tongue once more. The gentle girl no longer felt like she was losing out. She just felt a little warm all over. All right, stop calling me that. Come over here, I'll open the door for you. Since each unit had its own small balcony, with about 2 meters of space between the two balconies, so if residents from 2 units wanted to visit each other, they still had to go through the door. Otherwise, if someone fell, they'd end up in pieces all over the place. Watching the girl's slightly trembling figure as she hurried to the door, I couldn't help but feel smug. Little brat, you dare challenge me? Then, seeing the mouth-watering dishes, I only felt my stomach grow even emptier. I hurriedly opened the door, only to see the neighbor's door ajar. I tiptoed into Mira Jiang's room. That familiar, delicate fragrance wafted around me once more, making me instantly perk up. I grinned cheekily at Mira Jiang, who was flusteredly grabbing slippers. "Big sis, I'm here to mooch a meal." Mira Jiang shuddered violently. She turned and immediately reached for my waist. "I told you to stop calling me that. If you keep it up, I won't feed you." Mira Jiang let out a soft huff at my antics. He tossed me a pair of men's slippers and walked away without a word. When I was face to face with the little witch, my heart was also trembling. Naturally, I didn't dare to make her angry either. After letting out a few awkward laughs, I slipped on my slippers and followed Mira Jiang inside. I walked behind her, watching Mira Jiang's graceful figure, her legs straight and slender beneath the black pleated skirt. A pair of fair and delicate feet nestled in women's slippers. What's that term people use online again? Jade feet. The phrase inexplicably popped into my head. What are you standing there for? If you're not eating, just go back. Mira Jiang looked at me, still standing there like a block of wood, and immediately snapped irritably. I shook my head, cutting off my own unfathomable thoughts, then fawningly made their way to the table. Naturally, they sat next to Mira Jiang. "Why are you sitting so close? Move a bit further away." Mira Jiang was startled. The girl's sense of reserve instantly kicked in. She lifted her foot and pressed it against my thigh, trying to push me away a little. But I didn't mind at all. I sat there motionless, lowering my head to look. I saw her tiny, adorable feet. Her pink toes weren't painted with any strange colors. They looked so natural and fresh. Turns out the little witch isn't just soft-handed. Her feet are soft too. Since the weather was still hot, I was wearing thin pants. When her delicate skin pressed against me, I embarrassingly started to feel something. I didn't dare look anymore. "Just distract yourself. Avoid making a fool of myself later." "What are you doing? Didn't we do the same thing when we were kids? Can childhood and now be the same?" Mira Jiang, however, argued stubbornly. But after realizing she couldn't do anything about me, she simply gave up. "This guy is such a rascal. Then who was the one hugging and holding me this afternoon?" I muttered under my breath. "What did you say?" "Nothing, I was praising you." Mira Jiang only caught the words hug and hold. How could these two words possibly form any kind of compliment? Under the girl's suspicious gaze, I could only try my best not to look at her. I casually picked up a shrimp and devoured it heartily, and praised. Who would have thought Miss Jiang could cook so well? Of course, this young lady is amazing at everything, okay? Mira Jiang, hearing my unreserved compliments, gradually lost herself, acting just like a delusional girl, giggling foolishly. I saw that familiar smile, merging once again with the one in my memories. As I kept watching, I couldn't help but take a bite. Mira Jiang was in an exceptionally good mood. Who knew? This troublemaker's dog mouth could actually spit out ivory? If it were before, I'd be lucky not to mock her a few times. Feeling the intense gaze fixed on her from beside, the girl blushed slightly again. She picked up a piece of ribs and placed it in my bowl, her voice as soft as a mosquito's. "Why are you looking at me? Let's eat first." But to her surprise, I remained unmoved, still staring at Mira Jiang's flushed cheeks. I knew staring at someone like this was incredibly rude, but I didn't know what was wrong with me today. I just couldn't help it. Under that burning gaze, Mira Jiang could only use eating to hide her flustered heart. What's up with this guy? Is there a flower on my face? Why's he staring so much? Though being noticed by someone she liked made her happy, he still shouldn't stare so much, right? The gentle girl only felt her face growing hotter and hotter. My body is getting hotter and hotter. She was just about to stand up and give this guy a piece of her mind. But before she could take action, a hand reached to her forehead. instantly stunned her. I suddenly reached out my hand, gently brushed aside Merajiang's nearly fallen bangs. He couldn't help but sigh unconsciously. Spit out a sentence. I wish you could always be this gentle. I regretted saying that as soon as the words left my mouth. What do you mean by that? Was I not gentle before? Sure enough, the next moment my waist took the hit. When I get back to my own home, I lifted my clithesto. Take a look. The skin was originally just a bit pale with a faint bluish tint. At this moment, it appeared dunnily dark and bruised. Thinking back to what he just said to her, I can't even believe it myself. How dare you say that to that shrew? You really have no fear of death. But she actually agreed. This is so Mathinji didn't expect. This little witch really doesn't know her own strength. It hurts like hell. After applying the Medicatedlic to my waist, I followed along. Picked up the phone. I instinctively opened QQ. Clicked on the profile picture I pinned at the top. After opening it, the last message displayed on top was, "It's already been a year. You actually went behind me back and ran off." Looking at these two messages she sent, you can just imagine what her expression was like at the time. I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Couldn't help but laugh out loud. But what I didn't know was, the night after it transferred schools, Mira John thought I was just joking with her. Only after returning home. After my mom said it herself, she had no choice but to fully believe all of this. She hid back in harem that very night. Cried all night inside. Crying their heart out. Mira Jiang's feeling at the time was just as if it were something of precious to me. Suddenly, I lost myself. Of course, I had no idea about any of this. Back then, I just happy to have escaped the little witch's clutches. Who would have known? Mira Jiang back then. She's just a 17-year-old girl, that's all. My fingers moved deftly across the screen, typed out a message, and then deleted it again. Back and forth like this. Typed and deleted. At this moment, I actually don't know what to say to Mira Jiang. I'm so frustrated, thought he threw my phone down. He raised his hand and scratched his hair. Then I picked up my phone again. Quickly edited a piece of text. Heavily clicked the send button. Hey, what you just said is true, right? After sending this message, I put down my phone with complete satisfaction. Going to take a shower first, then we'll talk. But who would have thought? A familiar special notification sound rang out. This really shocked me. That little witch actually replied instantly. Open the phone. What catches the eye is a picture. A little cat crossed its arms and tilted its head to the side. Can't you speak? Mind your own business, hey emph. Mira Jiang was just lying on the sofa watching TV. Suddenly, a long-lost, special notification tone rang out. It barged into the girl's ears. She hurriedly picked up her phone in a fluster. Let me see what this troublemaker has posted. When she clicked to take a look, a message I sent a year ago caught my eye. The girl's barely calmed emotions instantly felt bad again. This guy only knows how to eat. She casually sent over a smug cat meme. Want him to know I'm really angry right now. After sending that message, I just put down my phone and went to take a shower. After waiting for a while, haven't heard any notification yet. This made Merajiang even angrier. This guy actually ignored her. The angry girl snatched up her phone in one swift motion. Fingers swiftly tapped away on the screen. After message was sent to me. After waiting for a while, there's still no response over there. I learned to cook for his sake. Before leaving Cloud City, I made sure to ask Yellera's mom. Ask this guy what likes to eat. Who is all this for? It's all because of this troublemaker. I'll never talk to him again. At this very moment, Mira Jiang felt very wrong. For some reason, I feel like crying. At this moment, that notification suddenly rang out. The feeling of rooming being wronged and wanting to cry. It was forcefully suppressed. She quickly grabbed the phone, threw the phone aside again. Watching TV. The girl's thoughts in her heart are very simple. She also once told that guy no. Waiting for news is a very painful thing. Ruo Meng threw her phone aside. The gaze is fixed on the TV. But the corner of my eye kept glancing at the other side of the phone. I used to take showers really quickly. Didn't expect the shower head to suddenly stop working for no reason. I tinkered for a while bare it started working, including shower time. It's been about an hour already. I kept listening to that special notification sound. From the very beginning, it rang once every minute. Later on, it became frequent, going off every few seconds. I thought my phone was broken. The phone keeps ringing. When I finished showering and picked up my phone to check, the screen showed over a dozen unread messages. And these messages, it was all sent by someone with the nickname, a witch. When I first saw these messages, I'm a bit confused too. What the hell is wrong with this little witch? Why did you suddenly send so many messages? I opened QQ and took a look. The earliest message shows it was posted half an hour ago. Eat. That's all you ever think about. Are you stupid? Hey, you little punk. The person sent these 2 messages 26 minutes ago. I continued reading further. Where is everyone? You keep ignoring me. I won't cook for you then. Seeing this suddenly made me feel like laughing. He didn't expect that. This little witch actually has such a girly side to her. If you ignore me, Thene'll ignore you too, got it? Are you really ignoring me now? I agreed. Isn't that enough? Hurry up and reply to me. I kept scrolling through the screen until I saw the last sentence. I finally couldn't hold it in anymore. The wheel of fortune turns indeed. This little witch actually had a day when she was under my control. I held back my laughter, quickly sent a voice message over. But as I kept talking, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Are you possessed by some demon, or what? This really doesn't seem like your style. Rooming originally wanted to leave this guy hanging for a few more minutes. But the longer I waited, it feels like there are ants crawling all over my body. She can't take it anymore. She was determined to see what hell that guy had posted. The girl skillfully unlocked the screen. Open QQ. Seeing it was a voice message, she still had some expectations. Want to know what the hell this guy actually said. Until she clicked in the voice message. After listening to it, the young girl's hopeful heart finally died. Mira Zhang instantly flew into a rage out of humiliation. Also sent me a voice message. I knew you couldn't say anything decent, you big idiot. You'll never get to at my cooking again. Hey emph. After saying that, there were other greetings mixed in from behind. This voice message actually lasted a full 60 seconds. Mira Zhang looked at her masterpiece. I couldn't help but let it off few quiet hums in my heart. This is just the limit of the software. That's not the limit for a gentle girl. After sending this message, Mira Zhang tossed her phone aside. Then he immediately grabbed that plush toy, angrily trampling over. Just like this doll in my hand. It's that big idiot next door. I waited for a few minutes. Finally got the little witch's reply. Looking at that 60-second long voice message, my heart trembled. A bit scared. After calming down a little, I still clicked on that 60-second long voice message. After listening, I actually smacked my lips a little, still not quite satisfied. As expected of the little witch, you can insult someone without even using a single curse word. I suspect I have masochistic tendencies. I already knew this voice message must contain bad news, but I still couldn't help wanting to listen. Alright, I know I was wrong. Please don't hold a grudge against someone as insignificant as me. Please forgive me this once. Just as I sent the message over, the notification sound went off, still replying instantly. Mira Zhang smiled. Seeing this emoji, my face immediately fell. I know this little witch is really pissed off. To protect the little bit of fat around their waist, I'm ready to compromise and give in to the little witch. But in my heart, I still found an excuse for myself. A real man knows what to do and what not to do. This is forced by circumstances, not my fault. Thinking of this line, I nodded silently in my heart. As expected of me. My dear Miss Jong, please don't be angry anymore, okay? Your little Lulurially knows she was wrong. Mira Jong was still fuming. After seeing this sentence, the anger had ouradimously subsided. You're so cheesy. Show me your little thing. Alright, I accept your apology. After sending the message, Mira Jong endured. Couldn't help but mutter. This is really. You can actually say sick mushy words out loud. As expected of a total idiot. Mouth says it's gross. But the expression on her face had already given her away. Oh, I'm such a two-faced bitch. My little Lualuo, hee hee, just thinking about it. Mira Jiang's cheeks flushed red. Quickly buried his head in the sofa. Two little feet sticking up. Rolling around on the sofa. On the other side, after I saw the message from Mira Jiang, he immediately let out a sigh of relief. It seems my old back won't suffer tomorrow. Soon enough, drowsiness crept in. I fell into a deep sleep with the sound of the TV on. Early the next morning, hearing that familiar alarm clock ringtone, dazed and confused, I opened my eyes. His hand was groping around for something. But I felt a damp patch on my own chest. This instantly wiped away all my drowsiness. I frantically scribbled to my feet. I saw that I had fallen asleep on the sofa last night. It's still thanks to weather being so hot. Otherwise, you'll definitely catch a cold, no doubt about it. I stood up. Looking at that sticky water stain, instinctively pulled up the collar and took a sniff. Just like that. I almost met my maker because of him. I quickly took off all my clothes and threw them into the washing machine. 6:10 after taking a shower. I'm all dressed up. I checked the time and went out to exercise. Slowly. I ran to a familiarbriac fast stall, skillfully ordered a bowl of soy milk and some fried dough sticks. When it's time to pay the bill, I saw the pumpkin porridge placed nearby. I suddenly remembered what my mom had said. Mom probably mentioned it before. That little witch loves drinking pumpkin porridge. Boss, help me get a bowl of pumpkin porridge. Get 2 more buns. When I walked downstairs to the apartment building, I'm holding pumpkin porridge and steamed buns in my hand, standing by the elevator with some annoyance. I must have been out of my damn mind. Why would I buy her breakfast? I feel like I've lost big time. Forget it. Consider it as repayment for her treating me to dinner yesterday. With this connection, we can go freeload a meal next time. She probably wouldn't be able to refuse. Thinking about it this way, I feel like it's not a bad deal after all. A glimmer of joy rose in my heart. Out of the elevator, I wandered in the aisle. I've rehearsed it countless times in my mind. But once it committed actual action, I chickened out. I don't know how to talk to Mira Jiang. In the end, I arrived at Theodore of Mira Jiang's apartment, kind enough to bring her breakfast. What's there to be embarrassed about seeing her? I raised my hand on rang the doorbell. After waiting for a while, a dark shadow flashed past on the cat's eye. Right after that, the sound of a door opening could be heard. Mira Jiang was wearing pink pajamas with a little pig design, standing drowsily bend the door. Seeing this, I couldn't help but complain in my heart. What is it with hair and pink, seriously? What do you want? If you don't speak, I'm closing the door. Mira Jiang patted in dissatisfaction. Finally, no more morning reading sessions. That damn guy came knocking on the door early in the morning. Disturbing Sumioneset dreams. I'm so fucking annoyed. And knocking is just knocking, not saying what you want to do. Are you just gonna stand there like an idiot, staring at me? Still standing at Theodore without saying a word. It was just a pair of eyes staring at her the whole time. This guy finally got his eyes open. My reaction made that girl very happy. but disturbing Sumion's sleep made the girl very angry. If he doesn't have a good excuse, I'll make sure he gets what's coming to him. I heard Mira Jiang's dissatisfied voice, finally snapped out of it. I quickly hid Miss inside the pumpkin behind me. He handed over twextra big steamed buns. I brought this for you heil out for my morning run. Consider this as payback for the meal you treated me to yesterday. But unexpectedly, Mira Jiang didn't take it. Just stared at me with a suspicious look. You're such a good guy. Could it be that something was added? Hearing that, I was instantly speechless. This guy has way too Makidra going on in his head. I spat inside it. Do you want it or not? You're so disgusting. Mira Jiang heard this. I've already made up my mind. It really was this guy on purpose. I couldn't help but feel sweet inside for bringing it for myself. Back in the day. That bastard really wants to play tricks? Definitely wouldn't react like this. They will definitely use every possible method to make sure they get accepted. Then after getting hit themselves, they smugly laugh and mock, saying, "Little witch, you've been fooled." The girl already understood in her heart. But still, they put on a look of disgust on their face. If you don't want it, I'll eat it myself. Just in time, I'm still hungry. I took a step forward, turned around and was about to leave. This can make even the gentlest girl lose her temper in an instant. Stop. Mira Jiang saw that this damn guy seemed to really be leaving. She stomped her foot in slight dissatisfaction. He immediately shouted at me sternly to stop. Doesn't this guy know he's a girl? Girls should definitely be a bit more reserved. Serves him right for being single. Hey emph. What's up? I naturally heard thick emotion behind me. He turned his head with a somewhat amused expression, and said, Mira Jiang steps forward in one swift move. He snatched away the pumpkin porridge and the big steamed buns. I looked at the Navyun girl with a half smile. You said you didn't want it, since you went out off your way to bring it for me. I'll reluctantly accept it, then. Mira Jiang hid the breakfast behind her back, made a funny face at me, then turned his head to the side. But their gaze kept lingering on me. Alright, breakfast is delivered to you too. I'm closing up. Mira Jiang reached out and placed her hand on the doorknob, getting ready to close the door. Seeing that stinky bastard standing motionless at the door, staring at myself standing there like a door god. But when that gaze swept over them, the girl just felt her whole body burning up. Why do you keep staring at me? I'm closing up now. Mira Jiang spoke in a voice as faint as a mosquito's buzz. Mira Jiang, what's up? Mira Jiang was suddenly taken aback by the solemn tone. Scared the hell out of me. I thought, what major thing does that stinky bastard want to say? You're so cute like this. Seeing this, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Mira Jiang immediately blushed bright red. I'm being teased. She just felt her whole body jetting hotter and hotter, still feeling a bit itchy. It feels like ants are crawling all over. She shoved me out in one go. He slammed the door shut with a bang. Rooming leaned against the door. This guy wasn't like this before. How did it sudden lunge like this? She placed her right hand on her burning cheek, feeling that passionate and tender girlish charm. I just feel so embarrassed. I stood at the door, looking at the door that had just closed. I couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. I never expected this little witch to be so easy to handle. It seems I was using the wrong method before. Sooner or later, I'll turn her back into Theon, who only knows how to call me brother. Adorable Mira Jiang. I secretly made up my mind. I walked up to the door of my own home. Take out the keys and open the door. Because I just worked out and got all sweaty. I'm going to take another shower. Wash yourself until you smell nice and fresh. Just so I don't lose Fassy in front of the little witch. After taking a shower, I checked the time. I finished packing up and walked out the door. Knocked on Mira Jiang's door. Asked her to go to class together. After waiting for a while, no one ever opened the door. This can't help but make me a bit puzzled. Could it be that this guy fell asleep again? I immediately pulled out my phone, sent a message to the person labeled Little Witch. Mira Zhang, you lazy pig. Did you fall asleep again? It's time for class. I was about to keep knocking after sending the message. The notification sound for special alerts instantly rang out. I can only stop knocking. I switched to checking has sent me the message. You're the lazy one. I'm not like that, ye guy. I was already at school long ago. I'm looking at these two messages. Can't help but laugh and cry at the same time. On the other side, Mira Zhang has been different ever since ate my lovingly prepared breakfast. The whole body just feels warm and cozy all over. Even the fatigue from not resting well last night was relieved. Some people might ask, you didn't see the breakfast made with love. Wrong is a breakfast made with love. After all, this is what the gentle girl believed. Zhao Meng, who are you chatting with? Could it be your childhood sweetheart? Mira Zhang is the type one instantly clicks with everyone. Soon, she was sitting next to the girl in the front row, Hao Wang. We've built a good relationship. Her name is Serena Qi, and she's a bit on the chubby side. Wearing a pair of thick black framed glasses. Thanks to the help of my Totrablimaker friends, Ho Kwok and Hao Wang. The news about him and Mira Zhang growing up together since childhood. It's already spread through the whole class. Oh, what are you talking about? What childhood, sweetheart? That sounds awful. Classmate Yellera is so handsome. Don't you have any thoughts about him? Mira Zhang heard this. Said with some guilt in his voice. What ideas could he possibly have? That's just a jerk. Oh, so that's how it is. Just happened to have a junior schoolmate reach out to me. I like classmate Yellera. Ask me to help introduce someone then. When he heard this, Mira Zhang was like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. Instantly flew into a rage. Why not? Anyway, you don't have any feelings for him. Serena Qi suddenly felt urged to tease Mira Zhang. After all, she's such a cute and beautiful girl. Even as a girl, she felt a little moved. That Yellera really got off cheap. Because I promised his mom. I need to keep an eye on him. Let him focus on his studies. That's right. The embarrassed girl finally found this excuse. This secretly delighted her. Oh, is that so? I saw you holding hands with him yesterday. Stop talking. Mira Zhang instantly jumps to her feet. Don't want Saranaki to keep talking. It's all because of this damn guy. Shouldn't have Agreda let him hold hands. It's already been found out. So embarrassing. Mira Jiang's heart let out a few silent sobs. He scolded Yelorato a bloody pulp. At this moment, I strolled into Thecla's room without a care in the world. I spotted it at first glance. Mira Zhang chatting with girl in the front row. It's only the second day. I just got close to a girl. This can't help but surprise me. Mira Zhang is severely familiar. Serena Qi may be wearing thick glasses, but the eyes are still sharp. At first glance, I spotted Yellera walking into the classroom. She quickly nudged her lips toward Mira Zhang and said, Promise. Has your childhood sweetheart arrived yet? Alright, I won't chat with you anymore. After Serena Qi finished speaking, just turn back around. Getting ready the stuff needed for class later. What are you talking about? If he's coming, then he's coming. What does that have to do with me? Mira Jiang's face burned with embarrassment at her words. She retorted somewhat guiltily, pretending to pick up the book and start reading. But out of the corner of my eye. Yet their gaze was fixed on me as I had just walked into the classroom. At first glance, Mira Jiang's eyes lit up as she secretly watched. All I saw was myself wearing a white t-shirt on top. The lower body is wearing a pair of loose, khaki-colored cropped pants. Further down is a pair of white sneakers. I have a bag slung diagonally across my shoulder. Hands in pockets. It gives off a Vibioff unrestrained style. The high school I attended was number 11 High School in Clear Spring City. This school has strict rules about students' clothing and outfits. No big demands. Wear whatever you want. But there are still limits. Just don't wear any weird or outrageous outfits. Especially those like Keith, Shawmate types. Of course, I noticed Mirai Jiang's little tricks. I couldn't help but feel a bit smug. You should know I put in extra effort to dress up for this outfit. If Mira Jiang didn't react at all, that was all for nothing. I walked over and sat down in my seat. He plopped right down into the seat that once belonged to his ex. Mira Jiang absently averted her gaze, pretending to read a book. But her cheeks were flushed with a rosy hue. That's not the case, Miss Jiang. That's not cool of you. At least I brought you breakfast, didn't I? You didn't even wait for me to go to school. Serena Key at the front desk was quietly enjoying the drama. Hearing this, she was just a budo fake being shocked. To both of you, so you two are actually living together now. But the thought that my actions are just asking for trouble. He was abruptly stopped in his tracks. She didn't want to bring trouble upon herself. I really need to focus on studying. You definitely need to arrive at school early. What's the point of waiting for a lazy ass like you? This is what you call studying hard. I pointed at the upside-down book in Mira Jiang's hand and teased her. Mira Jiang quickly put down the book upon hearing this. Turned the whole thing to one side. Pretending to be dead. Tasho, you don't want to see me. But she still secretly took out a small makeup mirror. Want to see how I react? The face is burning hot. My sweetheart's heart is also pounding like crazy. Because our seats were against the wall. Mira Jiang was sitting inside. I'm sitting outside. So Mira Jiang's little act-off sticking close to the wall. I just didn't catch you. Looking at her embarrassed expression. I'm in a very good mood. But regarding her reaction, my heart skipped a beat again. In the past, teasing her like this would. This little witch is definitely coming after me with fangs and claws, ready to fight to the death. What's going on today? Could it be that they've set up an even bigger trap for me to fall into? At this thought, it bit away my smile. I decided to tread carefully. I won't give the little witch any chance to screw me over. Mira Jiang looked through the mirror. Seeing me, who was originally laughing heartily, suddenly became all serious. An inexplicable, strange emotion stirred in her heart. Don't even say it, but this guy is seriously handsome when he's being proper. No wonder he was so popular with girls back in middle school. A memory from the past. Suddenly, it flashed through her mind. Back then. That bastard is all smiles and charm with other girls. When it comes to her, it's like running into an enemy. Either he knocks over her water glass or messes up her hair. Thinking of this, she couldn't help but feel a little angry. That guy was such a pain in the ass back then. Am I not more attractive than those girls? What does it mean to always go against yourself? A girl's emotions can be unpredictable at times. The weight was really a bit inexplicable. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. Mira Jiang suddenly turned around. He reached out and pinched my waist again. I immediately cried out in pain. Let go quickly. Mira Jiang let out a light and released her grip. And asked if I knew what I did wrong. This talk has me completely baffled. I just laughed a little, that's all. This is wrong. But for some reason got pinched. I'm really pissed off too. I'll let you know where I went wrong. Yellara said fiercely. Then quickly reached out and tickled her armpits. Mira Jiang burst into laughter from the sudden itch. Mira Jiang isn't someone who lets others push her around either. Immediately started playfully fighting back with me. Because the two of them were sitting in the back row and making little noise. So apart from a few nearby spots, the student in front didn't notice at all. Class hasn't started yet. There's only one Saranaki sitting near us. The two of them were having a lively and playful time together, completely oblivious to those around them. But this made Serena Keen, the front row, suffer. She really wanted to say to Thetwo of them, just like in the TV shows, "Stop fighting already. This won't kill anyone." But after thinking about the consequence of saying those words out loud, she gave up. I watched as Mira Zhang coldly passively defend herself. Can't help but get a little carried away. Tickle her under the arms. Also couldn't help but grow much larger. At that moment, my hand suddenly slipped. It's all on Mira Zhang. A place beyond words. His hand subconsciously gave a squeeze. Mira Zhang felt something strange on her body. My mind suddenly went blank. A visible blush spread across her face. She didn't know what to do anymore. I feel that softness there. I'm a bit confused too. Neither of them is a child anymore. Of course, I know what this means. Mira Zhang looked at herself in shock. I'm also feeling a bit awkward. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Who would have thought it was Mira Zhang? She just glanced at me with a blushing face. Not a single word was said. He immediately laid his head down on the desk. I found her reaction a bit baffling. Shouldn't she be coming after me right now? What happened to the little witch? Then it occurred to me again. The little witch isn't crying, is she? I'm a bit afraid she'll tell her mom about this. I can only comfort me with words. It really wasn't on purpose. Don't cry. Seeing that Mira Jiang still didn't react, I seemed to have thought of something again. Just then, took Mira Jiang's hand. Placed it on his own chest. Why don't you give him a pinch then? What are you doing? Just got in touch. Mira Zhang felt the burning heat of my skin. Her hand felt like it was electrocuted. Immediately took it back. Her reaction made me feel a bit awkward. But I realized the little witch wasn't crying. That can't help but make him breathe a sigh of relief. She probably wouldn't snitch on her own mom. I was just afraid you'd start crying. Let you pinch me back. You should know I never take advantage of others. I'm speaking with righteous indignation. As soon as these words were spoken, the usually lifeless Mira Zhang was so pissed off she actually laughed. I never realized you could be so shameless. Mira Zhang didn't even lift a finger. You flatter me. I waved my hand indifferently. Feel where it hurts on your body. Still carrying a bit of lingering warmth from this guy's palm. Mira Zhang lowered her head somewhat awkwardly. Then he immediately turned his gaze toward me. The soft flesh at her waist. I could tell from her reaction that she was up to something again. What a coincidence. I grabbed Mira Jiang's mischievous hand in one swift motion. Mira Zhang, you don't keep your word. You said you would pinch me again. I said discontentedly. Mira Zhang saw that both of her hands were grabbed by me. She tilted her head guiltily and retorted. Classmate Yellara. Did I ever promise you anything? I immediately knew this little witch wasn't planning to keep her promise. I randomly grabbed Mira Jiang's small hands, firmly held in his left hand. The other hand pulled out a phone, scrolled to the last chat message from last night, and held up the phone right in front of her. Mira Zhang looked at the message I sent. I agreed. Fine, I agree. Is that okay? Hurry up and reply to me. Can't help but feel a pang of guilt, facing my scrutinizing gaze. Mira Zhang still stubbornly retorted. I only said I agreed. I never said he agreed to anything. I see this little witch is still talking tough. A strange smile crept across my face. Mira Zhang. I was still feeling proud of my own cleverness, suddenly seeing this damn guy inexplicably start laughing. She had a bad feeling. Just as that thought crossed my mind, the voice rang out at the perfect moment. Hearing this voice, Mira Zhang somehow found the strength. He broke free from my grasp in one swift motion. Want to snatch my phone. But I'm tall with long arms. Where could Mira Zhang possibly snatch it from? She had no choice. Budo sit down angrily, staring at me with a displeased look. You're so despicable. You actually kept such an old recording all this time. I watched the girl get angry. But there's nothing they can do about it. A surge of pride swelled in his heart. I'm so damn smart. This message. This is something I saved in me QQ files when I was a kid. I accidentally found it while organizing some time ago. I originally thought there wouldn't be a chance to use it. But who would have thought that the little witch actually transferred here? With this leverage in hand. From now on, it'll be a piece of cake to handle. Little witch. You're asking me why I didn't bring it out earlier. Don't ask, just assume I forgot. I let out a few sinister chuckles. Do you remember what you promised yesterday? Mira Zhang pouted angrily with her cheeks puffed up. You really won't believe it until you see it with your own eyes, I said as I clicked in that recording again. I like Yellara the most, the most, big brother. Listening to that again. The voice message from Mira Zhang sounded like her face was blushing as red as blood. Actually, she has always remembered this matter. That was back when I was still in elementary school. The gentle girl thought this stinky guy had long forgotten. Didn't expect him topple a fast one on me. You're already recording at such a young age. So sinister and despicable. Wah, stop laying it already. I remember now, alright? Mira Zhang talks tough, but backs down when it counts. But the corner of their eye kept watching for my reaction. A gentle girl would never back down, of course. She wants to get her revenge. Looking at this bastard's smug smile. You're really asking for a beating. Mira Zhang couldn't help but want to beat me again. But the thought of their weenus still being in my hands. Couldn't help but give up. I saw the girl's reaction. Couldn't help lying uncomfortably. Instantly let their guard down. But just at this moment, Mira Zhang seized the opportunity. She quickly moved in close, trying to snatch my phone. But I exercise regularly. The reaction is no joke. I raised my hand holding the phone high. Dodged Mira Zhang's attack. Mira Zhang failed in one strike. Once again, the past is being oppressed and seized. But still couldn't get it. This made the girl stomp her feet in anger. You stinky jerk, you're bullying me. I want to tell Auntie. She immediately resorted her old tricks again. Putting on a pitiful, tearful expression. Lying on the desk. But the corner of their eye was still fixed on my hand. As expected, I'm really not good at dealing with girls. Instantly fell for it. Mira Zhang let out a whimper as she lay slumped over the desk. I was completely baffled for a moment. I thought the girl in front of me was really crying. Looking at the girl, who was made to cry by my own actions. I don't know why in my heart. Somehow, there's this heart-wrenching feeling. This feeling came out of nowhere. I had no choice but to step forward and comfort them, saying, There. I was wrong. I won't tease you anymore, okay? After saying this, I just felt my voice trembling a bit. Mira Zhang was a bit surprised to see this scene. He even forgot how to fake cry. This guy actually has this side to him. Back then, this guy was as stubborn as a mule. Didn't expect Tostel admit a mistake. I listened to that crying sound. Vanished in an instant. I got played by this little witch. This couldn't help but make him both furious and enraged. I was just trying to comfort you out of kindness. This guy doesn't appreciate. Forget it then. Still messing with me, huh? But my reaction was still a beat too slow. Mira Zhang snatched the phone away. Feeling smug as hell. Slipped and fell. Instantly sat on my lap. I also took the opportunity to embrace the girl's delicate and soft body. A faint fragrance rushed straight into my nose. I greedily took a deep breath. Because the commotion this time was extremely huge. This caught the attention of everyone in the class. Just at that moment, Hao Gore and Hao Wang walked into Thecla's room with backpacks on their shoulders. At first glance, I saw the two of them hugging and cuddling. Not Yellara. Isn't it a bit too early to be showing off your love like this? The girls in class were gossiping with faces full of schadenfreude. The guy looked at me with a face full of envy. With such a stunning beauty throwing herself at me. Mira Zhang didn't expect it to happen in just a split second. The whole class actually saw it. This is so embarrassing. She glared at me fiercely, immediately broke free from my embrace. Blushing furiously, she buried her face in the desk. I'm a pretty thick-skinned person. At this moment, he also started to feel a bit awkward under everyone's gaze. Hey, the weather is really nice today. Haha, right? I coughed a few times, still looking up at the ceiling. Hal Gore still wanted to say something when the class bell just rang. Hal Gore had no choice but to swallow his words. He returned to his seat a step ahead. The first class is homeroom teacher Sienna Sue's Chinese language class. I really don't want to get caught red-handed by Sienna Sue. The rest of the class also dropped their gossipy thoughts, getting ready the things you'll need for class later. I've never been this way before. I liked the sound of the school bell. I turned to Mira Zhang and said, let's talk about what happened today. You absolutely must not tell me. Oh my God, please, I'm begging you. But the gentle girl didn't want to pay me any attention, just gave me a light hum. The morning classes passed by quickly. As the teacher said, class dismissed. The whole class of foodies cheered together. Yellara, let's go. Dinner's ready. What are you waiting for? Hal Gore walked up to me. Look at me still spacing out. He reached out and tugged at my arm. Back in the day, Yellara, Hal Gore, and Hao Wangare, the three musketeers of foodies. As soon as class is over, he immediately rushed into the cafeteria without stopping. Just like their slogan says, let's eat, folks. Eating is life. Those who eat well are the elite. You guys go ahead first. Don't wait for me. I let out a sigh, raised my eyes to glance at him. Not bad. What else do you want to say? But was stopped by a single glance from Hao Wang. Alright then, Haozi and I will go grab some food first. After saying that, the two of them walked out of the classroom with their arms around each other's shoulders. I just gave a simple in response. Then I turned my gaze towards the girl who was still sitting quietly to the side. He sighed again. Because of what happened this morning, Mira Zhang hasn't paid me any attention all morning. At this moment, Mira Jiangmei seemed calm on the surface, but the body remained tense the whole time. My heart is also tangled up to death. Something like this happened. How am I supposed to face this damn guy in the future? I feel like dying. That's why I ignored him all morning. It's also because Mira Jiang didn't know how to tell me. Mira Zhang sat in her seat, secretly trying to observe my reaction out of the corner of their eye. I didn't expect this bastard to just sit there sighing and moaning, looking at my reaction. It's all because of this damn guy. It's just that I ignored him for 2 classes, that's all. He actually didn't even bother looking for himself. Do you really expect a girl to say it first? What a spineless jerk. Just like that, neither of them spoke first. Everyone just sat there waiting. Most students have finished eating. Back in the classroom, grinding through practice problems. I was so hungry I couldn't take it anymore. Finally, he was first to speak. I reached out and poked Mira Jiang's arm. Mira Jiang collapsed with just a light poke from me. Mira Jiang's tense body suddenly shuddered. But deep down, she felt a secret delight. I knew it was this guy who couldn't hold back first. Mira Jiang pretended to still be a bit angry as she replied. What are you doing? I finally saw the girl speak up. I immediately Fondan stepped forward. Let's go eat together. Of course, it's on me. Consider this my apology for what happened this morning. This is what you said yourself. I didn't force you. I noticed Mira Zhang seemed a bit eager to jump in as well. But he looked kind of funny, like he couldn't bring himself to swallow his pride. You're such a hypocrite, classmate Mira Zhang. No. It was my own choice. Though my heart thinks differently. But I, who prided myself on being clever, nature would naturally give the girl a way out. Mira Zhang saw this guy inviting her repeatedly. The gentle girl had no choice but to reluctantly agree. But the self-proclaimed gentle girl still found an excuse for myself in my heart. It's just that this guy keeps yapping nonstop. Just too annoying. Absolutely not. Thinking Gabbett having a meal with him. Absolutely not. But what exactly is the reason? Only she knows that truth in her heart. Soon, the two of them walked on after another to the cafeteria. Because Qingquan is from No. 11 Middle School. It's a privately run school. Although the tuition is high, however, the school is fully equipped with all kinds of facilities. I specifically found a two-person spot with fewer people around. I took out a tissue, cleaned up theatables and chairs. He immediately asked Mira Zhang to take a seat. Mira Zhang didn't hold back either. He plopped down quite naturally. Just eat whatever you want. But now, it's my turn to be in a tough spot. I've scrolled through so many short videos, knowing that a girl's whatever is the hardest to deal with. But Mira Zhang seemed to notice my dilemma. From childhood to adulthood, you still don't know me? I said whatever, course, whatever you want. Upon hearing this, I carefully thought it over. In my memory, the little witch seems to have a thing for someone. It's all like a breath of fresh air. In the neighborhood, he's always been held up as the model child that other parents compare their kids to. But then, my thoughts took a turn. I can't help but think of all the drama she put on in front of me. It felt as uncomfortable as being constipated in an instant. I took a deep look at Mira Zhang. He immediately snorted coldly, turned around to get some food. Mira Zhang was completely baffled by my reaction. He's the one who's crazy. I shook my head and dismissed that thought. He quickly rushed to the food serving window. After getting the food, I carried 2 full plates of food back to my seat. Mira Zhang saw me coming back. A sudden mischievous thought popped up. But upon closer inspection, 2 identical meals. She could truly say anything. He could only put on frustration. He buried his head and ate sullenly. I'm going to ask her. Wish said, whatever, just now. Why are you going back on your word? The little witch is definitely gonna jump up and smack my head. Loudly refute. You actually believe what girls say? I saw the little witch defeated look. Can't help but feel in a great mood. Then happily started eating. I'm eating the food in my own bowl. It's like there's no taste at all. Mira Zhang glanced at the rice in my bowl. It always feels like the food in my bowl tastes better. At the thought of this, Mira Zhang immediately grabbed her own spoon, threw it into my bowl, dug a big scoop aggressively, then he happily started eating. I knew this bastard was holding back on purpose. The food in his bowl really does taste better. I look at the ribby bitten into. Mira Zhang shoved it into his mouth, and he froze for a moment. A bit confused. I just wanted to torment her a bit. But after some thought, isn't this just asking for trouble? Just leave her be then. Just have to chalk it up to bad luck. Started eating without care for others. But my reaction was like this. But it only fueled the little witch's arrogance. Mira Zhang then scooped up another big spoonful of food. At this point, I finally can't hold back anymore. Isn't there already food in your own bowl? Why do you always take my stuff? Yours tastes better. I heard the little witch reply. I'm so pissed off. I was kind enough to treat her to a meal. But she's like this. Mira Zhang didn't care about this at all. He casually glanced at me reaction to the food. This made the girl feel extremely happy. Here you go, take mine. With that, he placed high-sound bowl in front of me. Then he snatched away the food I was still eating. Regarding this approach, Mira Zhang certainly has her own way of explaining things. A gentle girl is naturally considerate. I'm just worried that he won't have enough to eat. Of course, it's not about taking food out of his mouth. I'm looking at holding my own bowl. The girl happily enjoys her meal. I'm genuinely both angry and amused. After finishing the meal, the two walk side by side out of the cafeteria. In the eyes of passers-by, the man is handsome and dashing. The woman is gentle and lovely. They look exactly like a couple. If I knew what they were thinking in their hearts, I definitely spray them with a mouthful of soda in disbelief. Of course, it's not theater couple that I oppose. They actually said the little witch is gentle and lovely. Mira Zhang is gentle and lovely. This is absolute bullshit. Mira Zhang pointed at the nearby milk tea shop and said, Yellara, I'm thirsty. Want to drink bubble tea? Go buy your own if you want to drink. Yellara, rolled my eyes and whined, no, I just want what you bought. Mira Zhang wouldn't let it go. She cooed in a high-pitched voice while shaking my arm. I couldn't help but shiver when I heard it. Speak properly. At this very moment, a guy dressed to the nines walked past, looking at me with a face full of disdain. Bro, this is totally your fault. How can you treat your girlfriend like this? Before I could even lose my temper, that guy. He ran off in a flash. I was so pissed off. Is it because I'm being petty? It's clearly this little witch who's just stirring up trouble for no reason. Besides, she's not even my girlfriend yet. Mira Zhang saw me eating a pancake. My mood instantly brightened up. You're up to teasing me again. She just blinked her innocent big eyes. She said, in a pitiful delicate tone. What's wrong with way I'm talking? Yellara bro. I couldn't stand Mira Zhang's tone right away. I'll buy it, alright? With that, he took the lead and ran straight to the nearby milk tea shop. Mira Zhang's eyes lit up. She seems to have found a way to make me listen. She found a shady spot under a tree on the lawn, leaning against the tree, smiling as she watched my figure regularly fade into the distance. But the heart is sweet and joyful. He bought me bubble tea. This is the first time. After walking into the shop, I scratched my head in frustration at my own reaction. 315, your milk tea is ready. At this moment, a voice interrupted my contemplation. I held the number tag and walked to the stage. The staff confirmed it was correct and handed me 2 cups of milk tea. Here is your milk tea. Enjoy your drink. I walked out of the milk tea shop carrying my milk tea. As soon as I stepped out of the store, I only took one look. Just saw Mira Zhang sitting under the tree. A refreshing breeze blew gently by. Took away the lingering heat of early September. The breeze gently lifted the hem of the girl's skirt and those flowing strands of hair. This gust of wind has once again stirred the strings of my heart. I have to admit, she's really pretty. But the temperance just not great. I was staring at the girl's slightly flushed profile from the side, secretly thinking. There were still more than 10 minutes left before class started. Mira Zhang happily held 2 cups of milk tea in her hands, walked into the classroom. And behind her is me, grinding me teeth in frustration. My heart is bleeding right now. This cup of milk tea is so expensive. I only took 1 sip before the little witch snatched it away. I just made a fool of myself. Damn, the little witch is so pretty. Damn, I must have been blind. I just plopped down onto my seat. Just then, Mira Zhang put down the half-finished milk tea. He stuffed it into my arms. Here you go, it don't taste good. Upon hearing this, I took the milk tea. In my heart, I cursed the little witch to hell and back. If it's so good, why are you snatching it? There's only this little bit left to drink. But I didn't dare to confront her about it. After all, she's got me mom backing her up. Just now, during the time I went out to buy milk tea and came back, Mira Zhang actually secretly called my mom behind my back. He actually timed it just right to wait for him to come back. Then it was just me getting scolded by my own mom over the phone. Gave a harsh scolding. Mira Zhang said it was just a coincidence. But I know this definitely isn't a coincidence. It was the little witch doing on purpose. You little brat, don't you dare bully Zhao Meng. If I find out, you better not go home. Thinking of mom's warning to me, I can't help but feel like crying a little. Is there no justice left in this world? Who's bullying who here? Back then, I just wanted to talk on the phone. Shout out your grievances. Am I really your biological son, or not? What kind of mother treats your own son like this? After taking the milk tea, I just wanted to throw it straight into the trash. But this made Mira Zhang unhappy. What are you doing? Don't waste it. There's more inside. Hearing this, my hand, which I wanted to throw, suddenly froze. I looked at Mira Zhang with some disbelief. You don't expect me to drink your backwash, do you? Mira Zhang wrinkled her little nose, pouting and said, What nonsense. You're so disgusting. Randomly pointed at the milk tea. There's still some left in here, isn't there? I would rather die than submit. But Mira Zhang said, with a dangerous look in her eyes. You forgot what Andy told you. Listening to Mirajiang's threatening words, my face immediately fell. Isn't this just making things difficult for people? The next moment, I looked at Mira Jiang's face. The rosy lips glanced once more at the straw she had sucked on. This doesn't seem so embarrassing after all. I closed my eyes and took a big gulp. It's like a soldier about to go to the battlefield and face death. Mira Zhang saw me holding the straw I had just sipped from. Her face instantly turned rosy. Immediately putting on a cutesy, coquettish voice, she said, Yellara bro is the best. Hearing this, I pulled a long face and waved my hands in refusal. Can't take it. I was only born a few hours earlier than you. As the broadcast sounded, the day's classes have definitely come to an end. Because the school doesn't require evening self-study. The classmates left Tony after another. Some of them went back to the dorm. Some just went back to their own homes. Yeller and Mouse are heading off first. Hal Gore finally showed some sense this time. I saw Hao Wang walking past me with his arm round someone's shoulder. Wait for me, you two. Because they were afraid of Mira Jiang's retaliation, I suddenly sped up packing my things. But the moment that one of them heard this, the footsteps that were originally waking instantly turned into a sprint. In the blink of an eye, had appeared outside the classroom. Watching the Ho had already left. I'm really pissed off. These two troublemakers, can't you see Orbity's in trouble? I stuffed a very thin into the bag all at once. With a single step. Just want to dash out of the classroom like this. But suddenly, a voice interrupted my movement. Classmate Yellara, where are you going? Listening to that voice like the whisper of a devil, I had no choice but to suppress the thought of running away. The butt that had just lifted off stuck right back onto the chair. I could only turn my head with a smile uglier than a cry. Of course, the explanation is waiting to go home together with you. Mira Zhang wrinkled her little nose, pouted, discontentedly said, Your move just now. Looks like they're trying to bail on me first. No way, you must be seeing things. I awkwardly let out a nervous laugh. Hey it better be. Mira let out a light hum. Then give me your boss. I had no choice but to reluctantly take her bag. The girl's bag isn't heavy. I casually dropped it over my shoulder. Left the seat a step ahead. What are you reaching out your hand for? I asked in confusion, but still extended his right hand. Mira Zhang didn't answer his question either. Just placed my left hand in his. The girl's hand is very small. This comparison is just too much. My hand is a full size bigger than hers. I feel the warmth in the palm of my hand. Startled, he couldn't help but take a bite. Mira Zhang saw this guy was still spacing out. Instantly flew into a rage. Does this guy still not get it? That's so infuriating. What are you waiting for? Let's go, he said, gripping my large hand with his own in a reverse hold. Then the other hand held onto my arm. I feel that familiar touch. I can't quite figure out how this little witch's mind works. After thinking for a while, can't figure out the reason behind it. Let's not even think about it. After all, it's a freebie. Take it if it's free. Just like that, I took Mira Zhang with me. Amidst the envious gazes of all the boys, she walked out of the school gate. On the road, both of them had round thoughts weighing on their minds. One after another, they fell silent. When they reached the entrance of the vegetable market, not far from the neighborhood. Mira Zhang stopped it in her tracks. What's wrong? No more dishes? Buy some groceries, or what are we gonna eat tonight? Mira Zhang rolled her eyes at me. The words fell. He dragged me straight into the vegetable market. The wet market is very big. Although it was already evening, but there are still plenty of elderly folks coming to buy groceries. But a pair like us students was truly one of a kind. So they all turned their gazes in his direction. Seeing the arm held in the girl's embrace, in an instant, it all became clear. They all exchanged menial glances. Mira Zhang is a bit happy, looking at all kinds of food stalls. Naturally, this point was not discovered. I actually quite enjoy this feeling. It feels like going back to the days of my childhood. Go buy some pork ribs. With that, he grabbed my arm and pulled me over to the meat stall. The boss asked for half a kilogram of pork ribs. All right, little girl, you're really pretty. I'll cut a little extra for you. For such matters, Mira Zhang had long been used to it. Can't help it, who told me to be so good looking? The girl couldn't help but feel smug inside. Then she gave the butcher uncle a sweet smile. Thank you, uncle. You're welcome, take it. As he spoke, the meat stall owner handed over the bag filled with ribs. Handed it over. Mira Zhang signaled for me to take it. I had no choice but to take the bag. But this made Mira Zhang unhappy. Is it really that hard for you to just carry a bag? It's not like I am the only one eating. As soon as these words were spoken, my eyes lit up. What she meant was that she could still go freeload a meal in the evening. I'm holding a bag in my hand. Just now's impatience long gone vanished into thin air. Mira Zhang couldn't help but laugh at the sight of me. What a childish fool. The two of them spent this entire time buying groceries. It's been over an hour already. By the time we walked out of the wet market, it's already dark. I'm carrying 2 bags on my shoulders. Both hands were full of stuff. Mira Zhang was still holding onto my arm. The two chatted and laughed under the dim glow of the streetlights, walking on the way home. This is actually the first time Eve bought something from Mira Zhang without showing any signs of impatience. This feeling is like going back to childhood. I really enjoyed it. Suddenly, a gust of autumn wind blew by. Mira Zhang let go her crossed arms. In a hurry, he trotted up to the front, suddenly turned it around in a flash. The left foot is slightly raised, gave me a peace sign. The breeze gently ruffled the girl's hair. It also seemed to blow away hat was between the two of them. The barrier that never existed in the first place. Wait till we get back to the apartment. I didn't go home right away, but shamelessly squeezed into Mira Zhang's house. No, you go back first. I'll let you know when it's done. Oh, isn't it the same no matter where? What a scoundrel. How come I never noticed for that you're so shameless? The girl shoved a few times, found out this guy is still lazing around and won't leave, and then just left me alone. Mira Zhang brought the ingredients later into the kitchen, and I was sitting on the sofa, bored out of my mind. I feel out of sorts again. I just lay down right then. If this is at a neighbor's shoes you just met, I definitely wouldn't do something so rude. But who could blame me, since Mira Zhang and he have been best friends since we were kids? What's the big deal about laying on her sofa for a bit? If it weren't for the fear of getting beaten up, I still want to lie in Mira Zhang's lap. The faint fragrance of the girl lingers on the sofa. Listening to the chopping sounds coming from the kitchen, I suddenly have this feeling of having a virtuous wife at home. The next second, Hesse suddenly shook his head again. No, this can't be. Yellara, you can't just take it so lightly. Was bought off by Little Witch with just 2 meals. Thinking of this, I decided to go help. If you don't do anything, that's just freeloading. The last shred of my pride says, this is absolutely not allowed to happen. I quietly tiptoed to the kitchen door. At first glance, inside, there was a girl wearing a little bare apron, chopping vegetables in the cutting board. The upper body was wearing a white uniform, outlined the slender waist. The lower body is clad in a blue and white JK pleated skirt. A pair of small white socks is just perfect. The package wrapped around the girl's fair and rosy skin. Mira Zhang seemed to sense someone behind her, turned around and looked. So it's this damn guy. I don't know when he arrived at the kitchen door. What are you coming in for? I'm here to help. You can cook too? Mira Jiang's face was full of disbelief. Don't you dare underestimate me. Watch me show you what I've got. I was just saying I wanted to show Mira Jiang what I've got. I walked over to the stove. Pretending to be professional, he fumbled around for a while. I scratched my head awkwardly. Where do you light that? Mira Jiang was chopping vegetables. Hearing this, she burst out laughing. Turn around and cross your arms. Looking like they're waiting for a good show. You said you were going to show 'em what you've got, didn't you? That's just not good enough. What do you mean, can't do it? I'm done with this. Alright, it's just that you're making me blush and get all worked up. Fight tooth and nail for what's right. Mira Jiang saw the situation, secretly thinking, what a childish brat. Alright, since you insist on helping, just wash those spare ribs and vegetables. Although I'm not convinced in my heart, but still obediently went to wash the vegetables. Since you're a girl, I can't be bothered to argue with you. Not long after, I watched as Mira Jiang cooked all 3 dishes, and made a bowl of tomato and egg soup. I was shocked. I never knew before that Guigui was such a good cook. If I marry her and bring her home, that would be the death of happiness. What are you standing there like an idiot for? Hurry up and bring dishes to the table. Coming right up. I'll survey 1 plate in each hand. The 3 dishes and a soup were quickly brought to the dining table, and even thoughtfully served Mira Jiang a bowl of rice. Mira Jiang sat down. He took it over with a clear conscience. Neither of them noticed the way we interact with each other now. Completely and utterly. It's like a newlywed couple just got married not long ago. Before long, the entire table of food was completely devoured by just the 2 of them. I leaned back in the chair, patting his own belly. I just can't help but say how incredibly delicious it is. Mira Jiang also ate stomach for the first time. She usually gets full after just 1 bowl of rice. She actually ate a whole 3 bowls of rice tonight. My stomach is so full from eating. After a moment of rest, the feeling of fullness in the stomach disappeared. Mira Jiang stood up, getting ready to clean up themes left from their little battle. What are you doing? Put it down right now. Before she could even move a muscle, I sternly stopped him right there. Mira Jiang was so scared she jumped. Instantly, bang, bang, tuppinches landed on my arm. What the hell, you scared me. Go rest on the couch. I'm here. I heroically took on the dishwashing task with great enthusiasm. If only the little witch's delicate little hands. If the dishes get broken while washing them, it's me who ends up losing out. Mira Jiang saw this guy taking the initiative to shoulder the responsibility. She was surprised, though. But it's also nice to have some peace and quiet. She got up and sat on the sofa. Made room for me while I was cleaning the table. I casually turned on the TV. But his gaze wasn't fixed on the TV, staring at me while I'm working. Looking at me working so hard. The girl's eyes curved into crescents. Eyes smiling with joy. This guy looks really hot when he's serious. At the thought of this, the girl's face instantly burned with embarrassment. She quickly shifted her gaze to the TV. Yet out of the corner of my eye. Yet he still deliberately or inadvertently glanced toward the kitchen. For this gentle Miss Jiang has his own way of explaining things. I'm just afraid that damn guy will break the bowl. Yes, that's right. This bowl is crazy expensive. Breaking one of me will really break my heart. After I finished wishing his hands, just wanted to take a break on the sofa. But before I could even sit down, was pushed to the door by Mira Jiang. Alright, you've eaten your meal. The dishes are already washed. Go back. It's not. I still want to sit for a while. No, I need to take a shower. Who knew they'd take advantage of me while I was showering? Are you going to something bad? Hearing this tone as if guarding against a thief, I feel extremely wronged. I wouldn't dare. Are you out of your mind? After Mira Jiang finished speaking, ignored my resentful gaze, straight up pushed me out, closed the door on the way. Looking at the door that slammed shut with a bang, Yellara couldn't help but freeze for a moment. But I looked back at the piafala that had been letting in light. Suddenly, it turned dark. I find it a bit funny. I made funny faces at the peephole and said, "Do you also think him very handsome now?" "I think so too. You're so full of yourself." Hearing this, I noticed the catsy's glowing in the dark. It has regained its original translucency. What a dishonest guy, saying's going to take a shower. But he pressed against the peephole to secretly watch me, and muttered a few words. Then he took out his house keys from the bag. Rooming hugged her knees and leaned against the door. His face was flushed red. At this moment, she feels like dying. Damn, this guy actually found out. So embarrassing. Thinking of this, the gentle girl Planetto play a good prank on him. Mira Jiang turned on her phone, fingers tapping away rapidly, then sent a message over. As soon as I stepped inside, I just heard a notification sent from the phone in my pocket. I took out my phone. The screen lock wasn't unlocked. Just read the message Mira Jiang sent him. For breakfast tomorrow, I want to eat the cold-rolled noodles from the west side of town. Miss Jiang, it's a good 10 kilometers from here to the west side of town. When you see this message, I just felt a sudden headache. The message was just sent. The notification send rang again. Still replying instantly. Then I don't care. Figure it out yourself. If I can't eat you, you're done for. Alright. The reason I agreed to her so easily was, except she's Mira Jiang. And also because of this reason. The excuse for mooching a meal tomorrow is right there. I can't help but feel proud of my own cleverness. Little did they know, I was being played by this little witch without even realizing it. After a while, seeing no response, I put down my phone and went to take a shower. On the other side, Mira Jiang stared at the last message. It seems like everyone can see the look awfulness on my face when dealing with her. The girl's slightly embarrassed mood instantly brightened. The next day I woke up bright and early. After washing up, I went out for exercise. Because I agreed to Mira Jiang's unreasonable demand, today I chose a differentiating route than usual. The apartment I live in is at the thermist edge of Clear Spring City. The breakfast shop west of the city is at least 10 kilometers away. So I decided to run over there. Then take a taxi back. I can't help but feel distressed about myself. Why? Agree to the little witch unreasonable demand. Even if she was Theon who threatened first. But I'm just a grown man. Are you really scared off a little girl's threat? Thinking of this, I couldn't help but sigh. On the other side, in the center of a bedroom filled with pink hues, there was a large bed placed there. A young girl wearing pink pig pajamas, lying sprawled out on the bed. Because of this bad sleeping posture, the girl's fair and rosy feet had long been dangling by the bedside. And beneath the girl's feet, it's just a rolled-up blanket. Mira Jiang is listening. The phone kept buzzing with notifications, one after another. She couldn't help but frown in her sleep. After a while, the sound not only didn't stop, even more frequently, the girl picked up her phone with some irritation, just about to shut down. But I saw the sender was me. After that little bit of unhappiness she felt vanished into thin air in an instant. Mira Jiang rubbed at her just awakened eyes. Then I opened up those dozen or so messages. Look where I am. When you see this message, Mira Jiang couldn't help but laugh out loud. How can you be so childish? Where you are is known of my business. Also, it's rude to disturb Sumiyuni sleep so early in the morning. It's a very rude thing to do. Mira Zhang did no reply to this message. Fingers kept scrolling upwards. Seeing my selfie in front of the breakfast shop, Mira Zhang was instantly shocked. She didn't expect this guy to take her words so seriously. Really gone. Can't help but feel a bit moved. Mira Zhang actually had no idea. There's a breakfast shop in the western part of the city. She overheard other girls in class talking about it by chance. Because of what happened last night. She said it on purpose. She didn't even take it seriously herself. I didn't expect this guy to actually go. How did you actually go there? I was just saying it casually. I promised you. If you can't do it. Isn't that so embarrassing? When you see this message, Mira Zhang just felt their whole body burning up. I feel like there are Aryans crawling all over me. Climbing Mira Zhang, I'm a bit at a loss on how to respond to him. Might as well not reply. She kept flipping through the pictures I sent. There is the newly risen morning sun. There is a vast, wide lake. There are still a few with red lettuce flowers in the lake. When seeing these scenes, Mira Zhang wastrily shocked by me. Didn't expect that. This big idiot still has a bit of romantic charm. When I finish dreading all the messages, Mira Zhang knows there's a big idiot coming to deliver breakfast later. So she decided to freshen up properly. Make yourself smell nice. So that big idiot'll be dazzled. I took the elevator back to the apartment. It's already past 7 o'clock. I rang the doorbell at Mira Zhang's house. I only saw a dark shadow flash past the cat's eye and disappear. Then came the sound of a door opening. As soon as the door opened, a young girl, full of youthful energy, smiled, standing gracefully at the entrance. She was still wearing a full set of JK plaid skirt outfit. But unlike before, this time she had her hair down. And she even put on some light makeup. I couldn't help but widen my eyes. Mira Zhang is already very good looking in her normal state. Just dress up a little. That's absolutely insane. Mira Zhang saw the guy standing there looking completely stunned, secretly feeling pleased with oneself. A woman dresses up for one who appreciates her. As long as this guy thinks it looks good, then spend your own time dressing up. It's not meaningless. Mira Zhang twirled in place, holding up the hem of her skirt. How is it? Does it look good? I just feel my blood boiling with excitement. Something seems about to drip from the tip of my nose. It looks good, but you can't go to school like this. I kept talking and talking. The voice suddenly turned serious. Mira Zhang was smiling brightly at me. Why is that? Because I don't want to be seen by others. This will make me unhappy. I don't know if it's because of men's selfishness at play. I said it without thinking. Out came this honest remark. Instantly, Mira Zhang flushed bright red with embarrassment. All right, I'll listen to you.